Okay, it's the 20th of May. Thought I'd do a little walk around of the garden and the orchard to show you what's going on. It's quite a busy time of year. But first thing, one thing I haven't got in the garden yet, but I'm looking forward to, is all this sweet chestnut. It's quite a few quid's worth there, to be honest. And I've actually had the pegs made and the boards machined, because it's far easier than me doing it in my little workshop. So it should last, and it's going to kind of raise up the wet area of the garden. We'll go down and have a look now. So we've used the pizza oven quite a few times already this year. It's been great, and you know, it's just its third or fourth year. It doesn't need any work. It has washed off a little bit off the front, but nothing too major. It's just a great thing to have, a lovely thing to build together. And here we've got some Caucasian spinach, which is just starting to, it will start to climb up now. Some perennial leeks and some different mints and things like that. Really, really messy. You can see, actually, my back garden is like a meadow, but I think I am going to mow it purely because I've got the 3 acres there, which are kind of proper wildflower meadow. And what I find is, if I have this, and I really struggle with mice and rabbits and stuff like that, it just kind of gives them more access to my garden. But yeah, got the washing up on the line, make the most of it. Nice weather. And here, going through my rose arch, I love this rose arch, and it's just got so many buds on, and it's just going to start breaking, and I think it's going to look glorious this year. I'm really looking forward to how that rose is going to do. And then in the first greenhouse, I've kind of geared it up now, so a lot of my seedlings are out. I've got loads still in the polytunnel, and what I've done is I've geared it up for chili plants. I put them all on trays to make watering easier if we go away for a night or, you know, whatever. They really did struggle this year. I don't know if it's the compost or what it was. So I've had to start feeding them. I fed them from when they were tiny, and I was feeding them 2, 3, 4 times a week when I remembered. But they're doing all right now. Not looking incredible, but they are doing okay. And I've got a few little flowers just about forming. So that's quite cool. And then down in the actual bed of the greenhouse, I've got squash plants, winter squash, ready to go out. I just need to get the beds ready. And a few melons. And I've got sweet corn nearly ready. I've got some courgettes over there. This was a Gloucester Bounty, self-set last year, and unfortunately I lost a load of the seed from that. So it'd be nice to build it back up, but one's not enough to stop inbreeding depression. So I'd have to maybe try and get some seed from someone else, but that should be doable. A bit of kale there as well. The spinach is just starting to go to seed. So we've had loads and loads of spinach off this. It's been like a proper sea of green. It's been lovely. But you can see they're just starting to go to seed. So they'll come out, and I'll put my melons in there, and they'll climb up this jute netting, which I've bought about 10 metres of and put in different places. It's actually quite expensive for what it is, and I think grown up sticks is probably just as easy and a lot cheaper, and I don't want to spend money if I don't have to. But I've got a couple of courgettes here. These are, I think these are called Party Time. Great name for a courgette. And they're a mini courgette, look, and not courgette, cucumber. And they're just about to start fruiting now, and they're only, you know, they're not that old, so they've come in really good. And I've got a load of pots down here of parsley and different herbs, some are savoury and stuff like that. So yeah, using this greenhouse to the max, being the proper little workhorse greenhouse. On this tray here, I've got some barley. This is jet barley from seed I saved about 4 years ago. The germination rate hasn't been as good as I perhaps wanted. And I wasn't quite sure how they'd germinate. Probably should have done a test beforehand. Nice to grow that. It's high protein, meant to be really good in drought conditions, and it's black, so it's really quite a cool barley to grow. And then the second greenhouse is looking great. So in here we've got this jute netting again, which needs pinning back to the back actually. And I've got Dar cucumber, which is another small one, but this one's one you can save the seed from, which would be great. We've got some mammoth lettuce. It's got these huge. Not lettuce, mammoth basil, so hopefully going to have some huge leaves off these. And then we've got cherry fall tomatoes, which are meant to kind of cascade down into the path, is my plan. And here we've got some sweet peppers. This is called Flynn. Again, save the seed from them, isolate them from the chili peppers. And then we've got my aubergines. We've got 5 aubergines plants, a bit holy. The slugs have not been kind. And then we've got some, I think it's called Fumissimo basil, which is really fine leaf basil, which is really nice. Just try to make the most of the use of that space in there. And then down in the actual veg garden, got potatoes. These are some main crop, pink fir apple, just starting to come up. So it's nice to see them poking their heads up there. And then this is a Gretti. But look, you can see the rabbits have been chewing this. I'm really struggling with rabbits in here. I've got a live catch trap, and I thought I found a hole where they were coming through the other day. So I set the live catch trap and went and checked it after a couple of hours, and I got a hedgehog in it. So the poor little guy, he's a good guy, not a bad guy. So he's more than welcome to come into my garden. But I had tried to make this rabbit proof, and it hadn't worked. So Mr. Hedgehog went on his way, hopefully to eat some slugs and some snails. But yeah, the rabbits have been a bit of a pain. So actually I've taken some drastic measures a bit further down. I'll show you. But yeah, we've got some garlic and stuff in. That's looking really healthy. Another bed of potatoes. They were planted a little bit later, but same variety. Here is another disappointment. It's a video of disappointments. Great fun. This is meant to be a bed of carrots, 4 rows of carrots. I can see about 2 carrot seedlings in here, which is a real shame, but they just don't seem to come up. I did them under boards, and then something's come and scuttered it all over the place. So I think I need to try again. I put radishes in to try and mark the rows. The radishes are nearly ready actually, so I might just leave the radishes, put some more carrots in, and hopefully get a couple of beds of carrots. There's another bed down there, exactly the same thing happened. It's really disappointing. Got shallots, looking really good, and elephant garlic. Parsnips, these are looking great. They've germinated really well. I might move a couple, there's a little gap there. They're from English Country Life. Hugh sent me them, and they've just germinated really well, really high germination, just looking really good. I think they're going to be a great crop for the winter. Here we've got some beetroot. That's my second sowing of beetroot. That's looking really nice. Need to put a third sowing in probably. We'd like a lot of beetroot, pickled but also roasted as like a tart tatin. Really nice. Got an outdoor bed of tomatoes. So these are 2 that are meant to be kind of semi-blight resistant. So we've got Crimson Crush, which is an F1, and that is blight resistant. And then Prima Bella, which is meant to be late blight resistant, which is like a little cherry tomato. And that's a heritage one you can save the seeds from. And under the fleece, there's no need for it to be under the fleece, really. I've got French beans, half French beans and half dwarf runner beans. And the only reason I've got it like that is because of the rabbits. And I just thought, well, that's a simple way of protecting it, really. Down here we've got some cabbages. That's my second planting of those, because the first lot, the slugs just ate. Come down here in the wet, and you just don't seem to get them all. So, and then we've got my peas. Now these are doing really good when the rabbits ate them off. And I put some of this inch weld mesh all the way around it as a bit of kind of a guard. And then they're doing better, but it's just so disheartening when the rabbits eat stuff. And it's meant to be a rabbit-proof fence all the way around. So I need to wait till next winter and then go around it and just check everywhere and see if I can find where they're getting in. This bed's got yak on in, and I'll do another bed. Once I've cleared one of these, it's going to be yak on as well. And I'll be able to make a diabetic sweetener for my daughter, is the plan with that. Broad beans, they're looking pretty good. Could maybe do with some supports. And we've got these. This is my first sowing of beetroot, which is looking great actually. Although they haven't really formed many roots yet, just the leaves, but I'm really pleased with that. I'll keep the fleece on that I think for now, and just looks really, the leaves look great, so we might use the leaves as well. And then we've got some more shallots down there. And then the bit of the garden that I want the raised beds, which I've just kind of left because of this, is here. And you can see my sheets of plastic that I grow stuff through. And got this greenhouse as well. So this is the greenhouse that I moved from up there. And what I might do is just put this greenhouse down in this corner. I bought 4 oak sleepers, and the plan is just to put it on that really. Nothing fancy. It'll do, and it'll probably do it quite well. We've got my row of comfrey ready to cut. Got lots of comfrey around the place. Had some rhubarb this morning and made a cake with it, a nice rhubarb cake. And then down in the polytunnel, again having rabbit problems in here. Something's getting in and ate my cucumbers. Get the right plant in a minute. So ate my cucumbers, and so I put this up. Got this net in that they're going to climb, and I've got quite a few seedlings in here. Got some celeriac I need to thin out. Still got some shallots to plant out. This is my black cocoa French beans, my favourite French bean to grow. Really love this one. So I need to sow some more of those, try and get them everywhere. I've got some herbs, got some kind of chamomile to plant out, got some cosmos. The boy had a mad go the other day at planting loads of stuff, and he planted loads and loads of sunflowers for me, so I'm looking forward to getting those in. Got summer savoury, really nice herb. Got some lettuce and some kale and stuff to go out. Leeks, spring onions, and some exploding cucumbers, always good fun. And then down this side, I've got my tomatoes in, and you can see they're about 2 foot high, probably. They're looking pretty good. So, I mean, just been to see my neighbour, and I was in her greenhouse, and hers are 3 foot high. So you always comparison is the theft of joy, isn't it? That's what I was told. So yeah, I've got some salads in amongst the weeds there, and I've got some turnips, some summer turnips there to eat. And down here, this is the miner's lettuce, which is kind of going to seed now, and I've saved the seed for that as well. And my perennial kale. And look at the peaches, they're looking amazing. Really pleased with those that we've pollinated ourselves. Got a courgette in the greenhouse, in the polytunnel even, and we've got one up there. And I've got some peas. I need to put some sticks in for these to climb, actually. Pea sticks. Let's have a quick look in the orchard. So the orchard's looking lovely. I'm not sure how the frosts have affected us, actually, because it does look like there's loads of fruit on the apple trees. Everywhere I look, I'm seeing fruit, which is a really good sign. Obviously, got the June drop. Everything can change yet, but it's quite sheltered and protected, so if you get past the frost, you're doing quite well. The pears, I kept seeing this branch and thinking, oh, we got loads of pears, but that's basically the only branch on this tree that I could see with pears. There's some up there, actually, a few. But yeah, the orchard's looking good. This young apple tree, I planted this 2 years ago, I think. This is Discovery. So these could be our first apples this year, potentially, unless my Beauty of Bath, see if that's got any on. Damson tree, this is Merryweather. This is looking like it's going to have loads of fruit on it. Absolutely laden with them. So we'll see how they stay. You know, obviously a period of drought or whatever can wreck all that. No apples on the Beauty of Bath, unfortunately. A bit disappointing. And then my pear trees, so far, all seem to have survived. They are covered in weeds. Now, yes, you can get rid of the weeds, but when it comes dry, you are definitely then having to water it more. So it's a kind of, yes, they will struggle more if they've got to fight the weeds, but also you've got to water more without. So, you know, this is a kind of a harsher way. I will mow up in between these strips soon of dealing with it. Got loads of fruit on that's a red currant, and there's a josterberry over there, it's got fruit on it. Now I have seen a lot of muntjac kind of problem down here in amongst my plum trees, which is really disappointing. Not quite sure how to get on top of those. So basically everyone wants to eat what I want to eat. I get it, but it's just a bit annoying. There's a peach over there with peach leaf curl. So yeah, though some stuff looks really good, others doesn't, which is why having such a wide variety of stuff is so important. And my cherry tree here is just looking laden. Now whether we'll see a cherry is a different matter, or whether the birds will have them all first, but I'm really pleased with how it's cropped anyway. And my new gooseberry bushes are growing well. I don't want any fruit off them this year. And then in amongst my fruit bushes here, so we've got all my black currants, and they've got, I pruned them. I was worried I hadn't pruned them enough, still not sure. You've got to prune them hard, I think. And they're doing quite well. Got my comfrey hedge, which is like a divide between the veg garden and what was field. Oh look, and the bees are just loving it. Brilliant. And I've been cutting little sections, then letting it come back, so it will all crop at different times, which is nice for that. And then look, you see these gooseberries as well. Can't wait to get harvesting all these gooseberries when they're ready. Like little bullets at the moment, but it's looking like a brilliant crop of those. Yeah, look at that. I mean, there's almost more berries than leaves on that one. That's looking great. Again, pruning hard, potentially the key. And then here we've got my new compost bin, the other side of the greenhouse. Compost bin area, you can see this one. Nearly full. So, yeah, pretty pleased with that. But anyway, that's just a little walk around the garden and the orchard, and just like an idea of future crops, and hopefully it'll keep us fed come the summer. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.